on one of these clips that I posted, someone commented, and they commented under it, and they said something along the lines of like "says you, Steven Seagal," and then they posted a GIF of Steven Seagal, and I didn't realize that I looked like Steven Seagal if he had a three on top in a medium fade. I didn't know that. And these yellow glasses, these yellow frame glasses, are not helping me out. I was like, holy shit. I do look like Steven Seagal. Is that nice to say to somebody? No, don't tell. You shouldn't have told me that. Welcome back to the No One's Watching podcast. If you're watching this, you shouldn't be. If you saw the last one, you shouldn't have. And my name is Mike. If you don't know who I am, good. Hopping right into a marathon prep. It's been pretty good, you know. Have a little bit of a more chill week. The last week I was on my cool down week, I guess you could say. At the end of week 4. Now I'm in week 5. I'm about I guess 75% of the way through week 5. I've done 3 out of 4 runs for week 5. I am feeling good. I had one run early in the week. It was like a 6K conversational pace, relatively chill. I had an interval run, which was 400 meter at around 400 meter, I guess, stretches, I guess heats, you could say, at somewhere around an 8-minute pace. 8-minute mile pace and some change, and it got into from 400s into 200s, so 6 400s and then 6 200s, somewhere around halfway but into the 200s. I got runner's high for the first time in years, and it felt immaculate. It was really cool. It felt like I was gliding. I felt like a gazelle out there. And it was weird. It was like every time I took a step, I was getting like full body chills, and that could just be it was like I caught like a weird breeze or whatever. But I chalk it up to runner's high. Felt really good out there. It was awesome, and I was having a good time. Today I did a 5K tempo run, which is basically just gave me 5 kilometers. First one was conversational pace. Second kilometer was about a 6:35 kilometer pace, which is somewhere a little over somewhere around 10.5 mile per hour pace, I think, or a 10-minute mile pace, 10.5 minute mile pace, and then something around a 10:15 for the next one, and then back to a 10.5, 10 to a 10:15. I believe. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was a 6:35 kilometer and then a 6:15 kilometer pace. And it was pretty good. I mean, I did my personal best 5K at a 33:12, which is still slow as shit. But you know, it is what it is. It's my PB for throughout since I started running back in January. Got a personal best on my 2 mile, which is a 20:20, and that's around a little over a 10-minute mile. And then I did a PB on my mile time, which is 10-minute mile. So I haven't really run faster than a 10-minute mile since I started, but 10-minute mile seems to be around the cap of where I'm at right now, so I can't wait until I can get under that and get into the single-digit mile times. That's going to be fantastic. You know, I love the feeling, and I was super excited too. You know, because my wife she ran a 5K again, and she got a 29:59. So she did 10-minute miles, and then one 9:59 mile, and you know, it gets a little bit faster than 10-minute miles because of the 3.1 for the 5K. But yeah, I mean, that's sick. And, you know, she's faster than me as of right now. And we're just trying to get to her eventually. You know what I mean? I was running, I think when I first started, I ran like a 40-minute 5K. So I already cut off about 6 minutes and 48 seconds, which is really cool. About a minute a month. You know, and I mean, I'm okay with that. If we keep going, 6 months from now, I'll be running something something in the 20s. I don't want to do the math. Can't do the math right now. I just got off of working a shift, and baby's out of the house, wife's out of the house, so I'm trying to get it done before they get home. So brain's a little fried right now. But yeah, I mean, running's going good. I do have an 11K on Sunday, and I am going to a barbecue tomorrow, which should be fun. It's gonna be a barbecue with the boys. So I'm going to be traveling tomorrow to over there, and then I have an off day tomorrow with running, but I'm assuming I'm going to have at least a beer or 2, and hopefully that doesn't absolutely kill me for this 11K I have to run on Sunday. Not looking forward to it, really. Thinking about dropping the vest for the 11K. Don't really think it's necessary. It's only 7 miles. I should bring something, like some type of water with me, though, because I think I might croak, but I think I should have no problem running an 11K. I really don't think Water may not even be necessary, especially if I run it early and it's only like 60 degrees or something. And I've been able to run in the mornings this week because of the way my shifts are set up, and it has been so much better. And I'm back on morning shifts next week, so that's not cool. You know, I'm hoping it's a little bit more cool than it was. We got hit with a heat wave last week, I guess, and yeah, I'm just hoping that it's a little more cool. I mean, the body's handling the heat way better than it used to, or like how it has in the past. I'm actually able to keep cool while running, and I bought some actual shirts for running because I was just running in like straight cotton before. So I bought some dry fit shirts, pretty cheap on Amazon, honestly, like 7 for like $30 or something, and like that's pretty good, so I'll take it. But yeah, I mean, it's just really nice when you get out there and you're running and you're vibing, and then I feel like music selection is great, and like if you have a good music selection, you can really just it can really drive you to hit your personal bests or things of that nature. You know what I mean? It can drive you to hit different things. You just get a feeling, and you're just like I'm very receptive to music. So like if a song comes on that I don't hear often, but it's like an absolute banger, like that'll get me that'll make me change gears mentally, and I stop thinking about them running. It just takes me out of the whole running thing, and I'm just like I just get into a different feeling, and everything feels better. You know, sometimes you match cadence with the steps and stuff like that, and like sometimes it's like that. Sometimes that's impossible. You know what I mean? But and it could just be a good song. You know, it gets you all juiced up. You know, you're ready to go, and you're just having a good time while you're running. But yeah, I mean, I like to listen to. I've been listening to the same music forever. You know, nothing. I don't really change it up too much. I'm not really like into like new music. There are like a couple songs that like I'll listen to that are like new, but I just think they're good. So I think they're funny or they're catchy or whatever it may be. And like for example, like off of the out of the 60 something songs that Drake released, I listened to one of them, and it's the Janice STFU. You know what I mean? It's a good song. I mean, it's catchy. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's a great song, but it's super catchy and I like it. And I don't think I've run to it yet, so we'll see how that vibe goes. But let me see if I could pull up my Apple Music real quick, and I won't show you guys, but I'll just tell you like the vibes. And like I like shout out to Apple Music for creating like those like you get your own station or your most played or certain playlists, because I'm really terrible at making playlists, and I kind of just will have like random stuff in my Apple Music. Like I'll have that old. It was on TikTok for like a minute ago. It was the Pennies from Heaven, the Shooby Dooby song. Like I would listen. Like that's just we'll just like I'll be like 3 miles in, and then I'm just hearing Pennies from Heaven, Shooby Dooby, and I'm like okay, like skip. And I mean, I run with my phone in my hand, so it's relatively easy to skip, but like that's just not ideal. Let's see. Go look at my recently added. So if I just scroll down my recently added, this should give you a good idea of what I listen to. Okay, so I have Casino by Baby Keem, Hall of Fame 2.0 by Polo G. I have Sweet Dreams by Eurythmics, which is an absolute banger of a song to listen to. It's like it's really good. I don't know what YouTube regulations are on playing music, so I'm definitely not going to play it. I think you get copyrighted really fast. I have that Oliver Anthony song. I'm the one he got super famous for. And these, like, I just added these. Like, these are all old as hell. But then I have Iceman, or that one song from Iceman on there. I have a song from MGK on here. Wild Boy by MGK. I think that song came out. What year did that come out? 2011. Just added. Something from Black Sabbath. A couple songs from, what was this? Trophies from Young Money. What do I have here? Yeah, Mercy. Like these songs are all songs that I listened to in like middle school and high school. Watch Out by 2 Chainz. Now, I've noticed something about 2 Chainz because a lot of these songs that I've been going back into like basically back in time where I've been listening to music from the early, I guess, late 2000s, early 2010s, and like songs that I used to listen to when I was in that age frame. But 2 Chainz is really just I think he was like clowning everybody. Like there's no way that he was serious when he was rapping. I mean, there's a couple like he has like some bars, you know what I mean? But like there's no way he was serious when he was saying stuff like I have this song here. Where is it? It's called Watch Out. It's a bonus track on one of his albums. don't know which album it is. The Collie Grove bonus track version. There you go. It's called Watch Out. And there's a line in this song that goes, "Who he, not I smoke strong that Popeye." Now, I know what he means, but that's just ridiculous. And there's another song, I don't know, but he was talking about something about wood and cabinets. What are we doing? He had to be clowning everybody. Like he's like, I think he went to Stanford. Don't quote me on that, but pretty sure he went to Stanford. And he probably was just like, I could be a rapper and I could just say the darndest things, and I could probably get rich and make money. And he wasn't wrong. If that's what he thought, he wasn't wrong. But what else do I have on here? A couple of things from A$AP Rocky, some songs from No Ceilings from Lil Wayne. Banger of an album. Pretty sure it was all just remixes. It was like a mixtape. That's my dog, Mav. But honestly, the king of rappers, in my opinion, Soulja Boy. The one and the only Soulja Boy. I remember a kid from a middle school at the 8th grade dance. He was doing the Soulja Boy. That's when that song came out. Maybe it came out years before that, but for some reason it was playing at my 8th grade dance. And I remember that everyone was circled around this guy, the one guy who knew the Soulja Boy dance. So when it came on, everyone's just circled around him, watching him do it. I remember his name, but I'm not going to say it. But Soulja Boy has a song called Pretty Boy Swag, and it is by far one of the funniest songs that I ever listened to, and it's so catchy. And I get the ad libs on the song. I think that's what they're called. The stuff in the background. It's like Migos does it a lot, where there's like, oh, mama, that kind of stuff. It's pretty good. If you haven't listened to it, I'd definitely give it a listen. Or if you have listened to it but haven't listened to it in a while, I would definitely give it another listen. It is a certified banger. But yeah, that's kind of it in general. And if I look at like let's see if I could find my top 25 most played, and we'll go through it. I got some Suicide Boys on there, more Suicide Boys, Ghost Main, Papa Roach, more Suicide Boys, Meek Mill featuring Drake. Got some Lil Peep. Haven't listened to that song in a while. Big X The Plug, Eminem, Sheck West, Young Thug, Green Day, Kanye West, more Drake, some Post Malone, some Roddy Ricch, System of a Down, more Suicide Boys, French Montana, Trina James, Schoolboy Q, A$AP Rocky, A$AP Ferg, and more Suicide Boys. Suicide Boys with some other people in there. Yeah, that's kind of what I listen to. Kind of gets me juiced up. Kind of gets me in the vibes to run. You know what I mean? And that's really what I'm trying to do there. And most of the time I listen to music when I'm running. I try not to listen to it in the car as much, or I don't really listen to it in the car as much anymore. I mainly watch like comedy podcasts or listen to comedy podcasts while I'm driving. Shout out to like Bad Friends, Take Your Shoes Off podcast. Sometimes I listen to Rogan, depends who he has on, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's basically what I listen to when I'm running, and then when I'm driving, just sticking to podcasts. Now I want to address something that happened to me this week, and I post clips. I post one clip every day. I'll put out an episode and I'll post a clip basically every day until I run out of clips, and then I'll post another podcast. This is episode 8. So I've been doing this for about a month now. There really is no schedule to how I do this. It's just literally as soon as I run out of things that I think are funny, I'll do another one of these. But on one of these clips that I posted, someone commented, and I don't know I think it was on Instagram, because I post on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts for the clips, and they commented under it. And they said something along the lines of like, "Says you, Steven Seagal," and then they posted a GIF of Steven Seagal, and I didn't realize that I looked like Steven Seagal if he had a 3 on top in a medium fade. I didn't know that, and these yellow frame glasses are not helping me out. I was like, holy shit, I do look like Steven Seagal. Is that nice to say to somebody? No, don't tell. Like, you shouldn't have told me that. Like, and I'm always wearing black. I think there's one where I'm wearing green, but it's always a dark color, and that's what Steven Seagal does. He wears yellow frame glasses, dark clothes. Now, these aren't traditional. I think Japanese. This isn't traditional Japanese attire, but it's still dark clothing, and it's kind of like a slight. I think that guy was trying to make fun of me, but at the same time, Steven Seagal is kind of a badass. He knows martial arts. I don't know which one it is. I think it's like Aikido or something. I don't know how respected that is in the martial arts community, but he's a master of it. And like he can, I don't know if you've seen the videos, but people come up to him, they attack him, and he just uses his energy. He just uses energy, and he just puts him down to the ground. Now, if it's, I don't know if it's real, but I also don't know if it's fake because I've never been at the other end of a Steven Seagal energy focus before. So I cannot confirm or deny whether or not Steven Seagal is just putting people down with his energy. You know what I mean? So, but hey, shout out to that guy. You're not even supposed to be watching this, so for you to leave a comment, that's pretty cool. And if you want to say I look like Steven Seagal, hey man, I look like Steven Seagal. Maybe I'll get a wig too. Maybe I'll get a little ponytail wig. Speaking of that, look at that disgusting beard. I gotta shave it. I'm starting to look homeless. But yeah, I mean, I had a pretty cool weekend last weekend. I went to Sesame Place. Now, a lot of people, if you aren't on the East Coast or in a specific area, you would not know that Sesame Place even exists. So if you've watched the TV show, it's a pretty popular TV show, Sesame Street. It is the Sesame Street like amusement park, and they have all the characters, and they have all that kind of cool stuff, some rides, mainly for kids. And it was my daughter's birthday, so we took them to Sesame Street or Sesame Place, I guess, and because they love Sesame Street, they love Elmo, they love Abbey. You know, that's the kind of age that they're in. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. Hot as hell, probably like 95 degrees when we went there. Went with some people from the family, and again, the girls really enjoyed it. You know, they liked playing in the water and going. I don't know if they tried to go on a ride, but before it could even start, they were like, "Get me out of here! I'm not getting on this little spinny cup. There's no chance I'm spinning." And like, I'm not going on a ride with them because little spinny cups will put me out. I cannot handle a spinny cup. I can't handle a merry-go-round. I can't handle those swings on the chains that fly around. I can't handle anything that goes in circles. I can't handle. Put me on a roller coaster though, and I didn't figure that out until I was 21. That it's not that I can't handle rides; it's that I can't handle rides that spin. And I didn't go on a roller coaster until I was 21. My wife convinced me, and it was awesome. And I'll go on roller coasters now, and it's like the adrenaline is so sick. But yeah, we took them to Sesame Street. We tried to let them meet the characters. We tried to let them meet their favorite characters, and boy, they were not having it. They were crying before we even got to fifth in line. They're like, "What the hell is that?" And then they were looking, crying, and then we got them up to meet them eventually, and it just took one touch of the furry hand from Abbey, and it was like World War III started right there at Sesame Place. But yeah, Sesame Place is limited to the East Coast. I think they just opened up a location on the West Coast over in, I was told, San Diego. Pretty cool. Good for the kids. Fun. It's like kind of like the poor man's version of Disney World. But it is expensive to get into, and everything is expensive. Oh, I bought my daughters 2 bucket hats and 2 water bottles because the seal was broken on one of their water bottles, right? So I was like, we're here. I'm in here. I'm getting them a hat anyway because it was sunny. I was like, I'm getting them a hat anyway. Might as well just grab some water bottles that they would like. It's their birthday, you know? Let's do it. Let's be nice. And 2 bucket hats, 2 bottles of water, like refillable, like proper bottles of water. And it was $104. And the guy at the cash register, I went up to him with all this stuff. I gave it to him, and he's like, "All right." He's like, "You spent over $25. You can get a towel for $10." And I was like, "Nah, I'm good, man." And he's like, "All right, total's 104." I said, "What?" I was like, "You serious? $104 for?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I know." I was like, "Whatever. All right, I guess so. I'm not gonna put this stuff back." So got the goods and ended up giving to them. They love the hats and they like the water bottles, so it was a win-win for me on the dad front. But yeah, I mean, Sesame Street is pretty cool. There is a lot of at the water park. There's a lot of overweight individuals, and I'm talking the big kind, and they're wearing 2-piece bathing suits. You know, I feel like at a certain size, you got to wear, you got to cover them things up. You know what I mean? You can't be looking like, especially at a Sesame. Like, just wear a 1-piece if you're at Sesame Place. It's just kids there. Who are you showing out for? You're gonna meet a single father who took his kids to Sesame Place? Is that what you're looking for? You want all the other dads and grandparents and aunts and uncles to be like looking at you, looking at your, I don't know, your straight foop, little fupa action going on over there. But yeah, like come on, wear a one piece bathing suit. You don't really rate two pieces. You're just doing a disservice to the rest of the public. But yeah, I mean that was fun. Had a good time over at Sesame Place. But it was like right after we got home from Sesame Place. It was the next day actually after we got back from Sesame Place. My wife and she went and we put the babies down for their afternoon nap, and I guess it's at some point before the afternoon nap, they were in my. I have two bathrooms in my apartment, and right before their afternoon nap, my wife says to me, "Hey, the girls locked my bathroom door. You mind if I use your bathroom?" And she didn't have to ask me. She was just telling me, we have two bathrooms. She can use it whenever she wants. It's a shared bathroom. So I was just like, yeah, go ahead. Right. Like, that's weird. And I'm like, damn, I got to open this bathroom door now. I was like, all right, let me just, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm hanging out. I'm not really trying to do it right now. And we have another bathroom. So who really cares? Well, my wife goes into my bathroom, and I would say about 5 minutes goes by, and I just hear her start yelling for me. Panicked. And I'm like, what's going on? So I jump up off the couch. I run to the bathroom. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, the toilet's flooding. It must have been backed up or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's just flooding all over the place and there's water everywhere. And I was like, okay. And like, I used to be a plumber. So I know the first thing that you should do is always shut the water off to the toilet, right? So it stops. So water stops coming out. And so I'm just like, okay. And I'm just like, hey, I was like, where's the plunger? She's like, in my bathroom. And I felt like I was in a game of Saw. You know what I mean? It was just like, this was basically what my wife said to me. She said, the bathroom is flooding. The only way to get it to stop flooding is in my bathroom and the door's locked. Your time starts now. And I was running around and I really didn't have to run around that much because, like I said, I shut the water off. So I shut the water off, and she starts getting towels and like cleaning up the water or whatever. And I go to her bathroom to try to open the door. And usually, like, I'm pretty good at slide a little your card in between the door and the. If there's no deadbolt, you can just basically slide it through and get the door open. But I couldn't do that on this bathroom. So I was like, okay. And then it has one of those doorknobs with a little hole in the middle that you can stick something through to pop the lock open. That wasn't working. I tried a bunch of different things and I couldn't get it open. So I was like, okay, well. So I had to unscrew the doorknob, and then I had to turn over the lock and do that myself. So that was cool. Never done that before, but I guess that helps. But eventually got the plunger, eventually got the toilet unclogged, and then turned the water back on. Everything's great. But yeah, she just kind of set me up there. She obviously didn't do it on purpose, but that's what it felt like. It felt like this is just a sick game she was playing. My daughters, it was like her best attempt to wake up my daughters with having me run around being frantic. But yeah, bathroom Saw. But yeah, I mean, there's not really anything too crazy that's gone on this week. I don't really have too much else to talk about. I feel like I've been talking pretty fast on this one. Seems like I'm a little bit more awake this time because I'm doing this not at 10 p.m. at night. It's 8 right now. So, but yeah, I do want to talk about the U.S. men's national team soccer. And the whole World Cup in general, and I've been loving this, right? So, like I said before, I was in the military. I got out of the military a couple of years ago, and I was never especially a patriotic. I would say it definitely wasn't patriotic when I joined, and I wouldn't say I was necessarily patriotic when I was in until maybe the tail end. I was like, I love America. This is great. Yada, 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 so on and so forth. But I don't know, something about the World Cup being hosted in America has just been giving me some nationalistic vibes. You know what I mean? Obviously, we won the first game 4-1, a couple great goals. And I was never really too into soccer growing up, but I played FIFA, the video game, and that I know a lot of the players because of that game. A lot of the players that I knew are all retired now. I don't really play as much anymore, but I know a lot of the players. So it's cool. I know who's playing for what team, and I'm constantly ask people, is this guy still playing? And they're like, no. Well, okay. But Yeah, like just listening to the national anthem, seeing the crowds going crazy. It's just like a vibe. And right around 4th of July too, like 4th of July is going to be great this year, I think, because of this. Like I feel like it's making people in America like appreciate America, especially with all the people from different countries that are visiting America or the United States. All the different countries that are visiting the United States, Mexico, Canada, wherever the games are being held. They're just it's like you got people going viral on like from like I guess Japan or Korea or the guy from Germany that's all over like X right now, where he's like, oh, I'm over here at Buc-ee's, and it's just like a picture of Buc-ee's, and there's like 100 pumps, and the guy's just like, this is a gas station. And then he obviously didn't go inside before he took that picture because it's like a freaking Walmart inside of a Buc-ee's. Or like I think it was the Japanese guy, and it was just like his post was it was a post of chips and salsa at a Mexican restaurant, and he was just like they keep bringing me refills on chips. He's like, this is my third basket. He's like something along the lines of, I'm being defeated by baskets of chips. And it's like, why do they keep bringing me more? I do not deserve this. And it's just like, it's so funny to like see that and like see how different like American culture is for people. And it's like stuff that you don't even think about, you know, it's like a basket of chips and salsa. You know what I mean? Like you don't even think twice if you're in America. If you go to a Mexican restaurant and they bring it out and they just put it out for the table like automatically, you know? So it's really cool to see stuff like that. You got like the guys from all the Scotland people or people from Scotland that are in like that were in Boston, like basically just drank the city of Boston dry. Like that's so sick. There's bagpipe playing in the streets. They're putting cones on statues. Like it's like this is so cool. You know, like I'm enjoying watching this. I'm enjoying watching the games. We won again today, 2-0 against Australia. And Australia was getting a little chippy at the end there, but you know, it's whatever. A little bit of sore loser. For some reason, they wanted to beat us really bad. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know there was a rivalry between Australia and the United States. I'm pretty sure the United States doesn't know that either. I think it just might be an Australian thing, kind of like a one-sided thing going on. But like, it's so cool, and people are like tuning in. People are wearing stuff that like supports the team, and like it's so cool, you know. And it's making me a little bit more patriotic. I feel like it's making everybody a little bit more patriotic. They're like, wow, these are the nuanced things about America that other countries don't have, and all those other countries are like enjoying and seeing what makes America like a great country to live in, and that's really awesome. I like that a lot. All right, well, this has been the No One's Watching podcast. If you are watching this, you shouldn't be. If you watched the last one, you shouldn't have. And yeah, that's it. That's it for me. Quick one. I don't know how long it's actually going to be. Right now I'm at 36 minutes, but I'm going to cut some stuff out, I think. And yeah, if you don't know me, I'm Steven Seagal. See ya.